Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I'll also publish on Rumble, which at this moment it's caught up with everything except with XCOM, still uploading until it catches up here on YouTube. And today I'm going to do that day that I don't publish the gameplay series, and then tomorrow, which is Friday and Saturday, I publish XCOM, another XCOM, and another Prey episode there. So then Sunday it's my day off for the channel, and then we resume activities on Monday. Yeah, and basically I also publish on Rumble and on Blogger, just as an archive post blog there. And yeah, let's go to the news. Seemingly regarding like chip manufacturing stuff, China again is to lead semiconductor industry expansion with 18 new fabs this year. And of course global chip making capacity to reach record heights. Basically the gist of this is as I've been mentioning, I think throughout the last year, the fact that the pressure of especially United States on stifling basically the access of China of high-end chips, basically, but I suppose this is like usually China makes plans on their economy for long-term purposes. It doesn't do just to correct things. I suppose this was already on their sites because this kind of things like semiconductor kind of capabilities and opening fabs, it cannot be done from within 1 year. It's something that has already been planned, but I suppose it pressured a little bit to accelerate those programs. But yeah, the fact that the United States stifles the basically the access, culminating again with the 4090 stuff and the Grace Upper chips, and supposedly a lot of automotive stuff, and all of a lot of markets that need the use of this kind of chips, high-end chips. Basically China now it's opening their own fabs, even though it's Jesus, it's a lot of things. It's going again to be the new facilities will use like wafers from 100 millimeters to 300 millimeters. I suppose this will serve a lot of purposes. For this is, of course, this is not going to be for chip use only, as you might imagine. But yeah. SEMI, which is I think World Fab Forecast Report. I don't know, SEMI. I suppose it's like a forum or something like that, a world forum for semiconductor World Fab Forecast. I suppose it's what it means. Anticipates a 6.4 increase in capacity in 2024, 30 million wafer starts per month. I don't know exactly what this is. I suppose this is like the velocity or the speed that wafers can be produced by month. I don't know how really this kind of thing works. Even though I could have known if I think Gamers Nexus has some like fab exploration. They went about it. They are doing a lot of educational content in that sense. But yeah, and China is going to open 18 new fabs. They will again begin production this year. But yeah, in terms of basically oh my god, production like year on year growth, China is leading the way. And then again, the second largest is Taiwan, which is China. At least everybody considers Taiwan China, even though it's not mainland. And the rest is South Korea, Japan, and basically then you got some in Americas, Europe, Middle East, Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Even though in a lot of these areas it's not very high-end chips, it's more like 3 generations old kind of chips, like 6 millimeter nanometer and 5 nanometer in even older kind of manufactured nodes, from what I understand. But yeah, in-house Chinese chip manufacturers are expect a forecast of growth 12% year over year, which is a lot. But yeah, what happens when you start stifling, and of course, everything this is very well stimulated by government subsidies inside China. So when they usually do these kind of projects, they have the money and the capacity and the resources to do so. And yeah, when you wake up a giant like China, for all intents and purposes, you then have to deal with certain consequences. The thing is, it's similarly China doesn't is not countering to a certain degree this kind of embargoes and whatever. They just want to do business, from what I understand. You're just removing yourself a little bit, trying to stranglehold another country that has even more capacities than your own on regarding this kind of things in terms of manufacturing. Usually, it's not a good idea, at least in the long term. But yeah, it is what it is. And continuing with that kind of a thing, at least kind of some good news, at least for Americans. US delays restoring Trump era tariffs on GPUs, which is not on GPU, it's about some kind of electronics here. Supposedly they just 5 days before this delay kind of a thing was about to being over. They just, like 5 days before, they just okay, we're going to delay the imposing of these tariffs again. But yeah, some people on the industry are not happy because they already had plans to deal with this kind of imposing the tariffs because there was no news on this. Yeah, it's even regarding even good news, they don't come as good news, at least, or all good news, because they don't even know how to do this shit. This thing with the Biden administration dealing out with a lot of these things. Doesn't seem to be dealing this the best way possible. So basically, the Office of U.S. Trade Representative will delay reimposing Trump tariffs until May 31, so around 5 months or so, to gather more feedback from the industry before making a final decision. Because the gather more feedback, which is being gathering for 2 years now or 3 years or something like that. And of course, the Americans for Free Trade, I don't know exactly, supposedly this is a conglomerate of companies that deal in this industry. Of course, they are frustrated with the US trade representative. This short-term extension with little notice, making it difficult for business to plan, because when you plan yourself in terms of, I suppose, financial models regarding, now you have to deal with basically 25% increase in terms of pricing and how to deal with your overall business regarding that, and then afterwards it's not. I suppose people are not happy because they already had some compromises done and some kind of deals done regarding taking into account that, and yeah, now it's not. Yeah, this is not good. And there's been already some reviews started in May 2022, like a 4-year review of the effect that those tariffs had in during the Trump administration, but they not yet released the results, which is weird at minimum. And basically, from AFT, they said, we are disappointed that the Treasury representative continues to drag out review despite receiving hundreds of comments from businesses, large and small, who have been negatively impacted by the tariffs. Of course, tariffs will usually hurt the business itself, but the people that pay the price for those tariffs are the final consumer, because the prices are always passed to the final consumer when these kind of things happen. It's kind of good, but again, no final decision has yet to be made. It's just delays, just temporary measures, just fixes and patches and bandages and gushing wounds, which is not good how to a certain degree in the overall scheme of things of how to deal with this kind of stuff there. But yeah, because it affects a lot of GPUs and CPUs and all that stuff. Yeah, if you see 25% in increase, for example, in 4090, which at this moment in time in US market is around $2,000. It's instead of 2,000 you pay 2,500. So you can have a sense of how things work. And regarding continuing industry, supposedly VESA, which is the conglomerate of how it calls. Oh my god, I got the thing here because it's the Video Electronics Standard Association, which deals with all of this stuff in terms of standardizing. I don't know, it sounds very weird. Which come with a new standard, which is adaptive sync display standard, updated with dual mode support. I don't understand this. Ready for gaming monitors with 4K, 144, and 1080p to 80 Hz modes. I don't understand why the hell, if you can make a display go 280 Hz, even at 1080p, why you cannot go do the same kind of hertz in terms of 4K? I don't understand that. The same monitor, the same hardware is capable of doing reaching 280 frames per second or 280 hertz in 1080p, but cannot do the same in 4K. This seems to me a little bit of not shenanigan, but marketing trick. Not the fact that, notwithstanding that this is a certification regarding dual sync, dual modes, and whatever this is called. I don't understand the idea behind this. I think this is kind of a gimmick, because if a monitor in terms of hardware can do 280 hertz, why cannot in one resolution, why cannot do the same hertz at 4K? I don't understand. In terms of the monitor specification itself, I understand the GPU that can do if they cannot even reach 144 frames per second and 4K, but can reach 200 frames per second in 1080p if the game engine allows it. I understand the ratio between the resolution and the frames per second that can achieve a GPU, but a monitor is it's hardware. It just display what the signal basically that the GPU is sending. I don't understand this thing. And then to deal with off sync, you got the VSync technology, you got the FreeSync stuff that you have already implemented in all monitors. So even if it's not in a fixed rate, if it fluctuates, there is no screen tearing and there is no like stuttering on the images itself when it's displayed on the monitor. I really don't understand very well why they come up with this kind of gimmick here, which dual mode technology. By itself, I really don't understand. If somebody could explain me, I would like to know, because I read the old article and I just understood that there is a dual mode with two different sets of resolution and refresh rates, and that there is a process. The process itself doesn't seem to alter, but this thing 1.18, the version of the test itself, seems to incorporate this kind of a thing, which is just a sticker for me for marketing purposes, because I really don't understand in terms of hardware capabilities. If a monitor can reach 280 Hz in one resolution, cannot reach with the same hertz or the same frequency in a different resolution. I really don't understand that, because my 4K monitor, it's limited in 144 Hz, but it can display different kinds of resolution as long as it doesn't exceed the 4K one. If somebody knows something, I really don't understand it. This seems like a gimmick to me, but yeah, pay attention. I will wait for reviews because I'm not understanding very well this kind of a thing here. I will check, I don't know, hardware monitors, gamers nexus. Usually they go a little bit on the technology deep dives there. Maybe I could understand and bring you more news about this, but this seems very finicky here. But this announcement of the VESA certified adaptive sync, this doesn't put well. I think it's only going to add more confusion, and I think they will try to trick people and saying this is the because it's the latest technology. Usually people think, okay, this is the latest, so this is the best, which doesn't equate to the fact that it is the latest, that it's the best. It's usually not the same thing. But yeah, I'll not ramble more about this one. In terms of gaming news, we got Dogma II, 18 minutes of between 4, it's not classes, they call it vocations. Yeah, this IGN people there, they are, I've been watching their previews and their gameplays. I'm assuming that they were the ones that did the recording and the play. They played what is in the video there, because usually the latest guys that have been doing a lot of these previews, they really seem not to know how to capture footage, or they are very bad at playing the games, because it's very weird the way they go about playing the game. At least assuming, taking the account of my assumption there. But yeah, the game seems pretty interesting. Again, this is a preview. I will reserve my opinion, like my final opinion to a certain degree, after I play the game. But I will take more account reviewers that usually are not for these big outlets. Usually I tend to consider, or at least take an account, that they are always big chills for every kind of thing that comes out. But I always pay attention what they come up with and what they launch. But yeah, in a lot of sense, it's a lot of weird footage. Similarly, like what they did with Redfall. When they did the preview of Redfall and watched the footage of that, it was very weird, even though the game was not good. But the footage that they launched didn't highlight any strengths or didn't do anything interesting. Similarly, they were trying to play the game. I don't know. They don't think about on how to present the footage, even though supposedly they are a professional bunch there. But yeah, it is what it is. But at least we got some footage here to check, even though in different classes, I think that basically the enemy seems the same to me, but what can I do? We'll have to wait till the game come out. Seemed very interesting. It's on my wish list, and hopefully it's a very good game. And got also Dave the Diver, which 3 million sales, which is good. Yeah, it first launched in early access October 27, 2022, and then the final launch was in June 2023. Again, 3 million sales there. The game is currently on sale with the winter sale. It will wrap up around 12 hours or so at the time of the recording of the video. So I covered this in previous games, games. Oh my god, in previous videos on the section of the gaming deals. But yeah, you can go. I will leave also. I think I didn't put it here, but I will leave a link on the Steam page if you are interested in checking out this game. And lastly, we got Starfield modder adds pilotable mechs to the game. It is a work in progress, of course. This is like a small showcase of how he's progressing on the work there. Interestingly enough, supposedly you cannot roam around with any kind of vehicles. And yeah, having a pilotable mech, because I'm not sure what the reason they gave for not having even motorcycles or cars or something like that. Like any kind of vehicles, because the only vehicle per se, it's your starship to go around between planets, and the fact they do not even have like a wheeled vehicle of some sort to go around always seems a little bit odd. This happens also from Wasteland Fallout series. They don't have it. Skyrim, I think they had mounts, if not mistaken. But yeah, interestingly enough, they never introduced anything or did even mention that it's something that they were working on for a DLC or something like that, so to keep people on the suspense. They never touch anything, but similarly it's possible, and it seems to be working kind of, at least with the work in progress. It seems to be very good condition. Of course there is no sound associated with the movement of the mech and everything, but the in terms of visual quality seems pretty interesting. I think they are going to add also first person view, because the footage only shows third person, which is kind of weird. How to drive a mech like that, especially in the third person, how Starfield managed to get around that. But yeah, it seems pretty interesting, and the fact that again the modders are basically trying to save this game from being almost kind of a shit show, because mainly because of the feedback that I see on the Steam page in terms of reviews and people just complaining of a lot of stuff that seemed possible to put on the game. But yeah, but yeah, it's one of those games I think I will pass, or if I play it in a few years time when all the tools are available, all the DLC came out, and all the decent mods are already refined, maybe I will give it a try. But then again, until then, just going to wait. But yeah, it is what it is, and this is what I have for in terms of news. I'm just going to wrap up with some gaming deals. The game that yesterday I was blanking on, that was for free in Epic Game Store, is Plague Tale: Innocence, and tomorrow will be Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy for a week. I will cover this game tomorrow and throughout the rest of the time that it is for free. So the leak was on the right track that I covered a few days ago regarding the list of the games that are going to be free on Epic Game Store. Already claimed this game, so this is the first game for free, and then the second one is at least on sale on Steam. And on Steam you got Prey, which is 90% off, so $3. Again, this game I've been doing the gameplay series on this one, and already managed to get around getting some episodes to have on the backlog to launch and to publish on YouTube. And it's very, very interesting, and for sure it's a very underrated game that should add more. I think the sales should have been more reflective of the quality of the game itself, so it should have sold more than it did. Yeah, but I think the main thing was the name of the game, of the name of the IP that they wanted to forcefully put upon Arcane. But yeah, the game itself is pretty good. We got also Void Busters. Again, it's a recommendation for my part. Got seal of approval for me. Already did. Oh my god, the gameplay series on this game, roguelike, very interesting in terms of humor, and this one is from ex-Bioshock devs. Yeah, as you can see here, System Shock 2. Very, very good. We got also Midnight Suns, around 60% off. I think the digital plus edition, I think, is the way to go. That brings the extra characters there and their quests associated with it. Again, if you like XCOM kind of a play, and instead of the ability stuff, you have the cards with the deck building stuff. This is the game, one of the games for you. Story seems pretty interesting. It is interesting. I just didn't see the DLC character stuff there yet. But I watched Dark Hunter Path run from Christopher Odd, and the story very interesting. It's not kind of even though the characters are very based on comic books, the history itself, the story itself is pretty good. We got also Nier Replicant. This is the remastered version, which is a prequel to Nier Automata, and both of them are 60% off. again, this is one of those that I want to play. I've always been curious since I watched Near Automata kind of reviews and videos about it. Seems pretty interesting, especially with the themes and story-wise. I think it seems pretty good. We got also Mutant Year Zero. It's one of those games that I will do a gameplay. I managed to claim this one on Epic Game Store also for free some months ago. But yeah, it's 60% off. It seems pretty good, and I think it's a good recommendation if you like kind of XCOM-y kind of gameplay there. And I think the story is good enough to go around and do the missions. We got also Atomic Heart, 50% off. I think the best version is the Gold Edition, which brings all the playable DLC here. It's 4 DLCs in total. I think they already launched one. I think they are almost launching the second one, if not mistaken. And then we have still more 2 DLCs of content there for you to play. We got also Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, got the edition, 50% off. Again, this is a rare occasion when you have From Software. Even though Sekiro usually it's more times in sale than others, mainly because it's published by Activision. Yeah, this is one of the rare occasions that you might see From Software games in a deal. As also Elden Ring, which is 40% off, which is the best price that I saw from since the game has launched, and I took the plunge and already bought this game, the base version. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the Shadow of the Earth 3 to come out, and meanwhile I will see if I can start playing this game. And lastly, we got Death Stranding Director's Cut. I managed to claim this one also in Epic Game Store for free a few months ago, and I recently started playing it. And again, this is a very good game, even in terms of quality fidelity, the way it goes about it, the gameplay loop there, not also the deliveries, but the story. There is so far that I can see that there is explanation from the stuff that you have to do and how you have to do. Again, there is at this moment I'm around 30 game hours, even though I didn't progress hugely in terms of the main storyline. I'm trying to get around still to figure out what the BTs are all about, but the gameplay mechanics are all justified to a certain degree. At least I don't see any that is lacking here. Already unlocked some stuff here. Again, no weapons. At least I don't have any little things. But yeah, I reached like the middle of the country, but I think I still have a lot of things to go through. But yeah, a lot of mysteries still are wrapped up, and are a lot of stuff that I'm playing out that it's unraveling little by little. It's very interesting how usually Kojima-san is going about the things that he does. But yeah, very interesting, and I'm enjoying very much. So $20 for a game, and also the interaction that you have with other players is very interesting. The way he went about it, and the fact that Death Stranding itself and how the strands work and all that jazz. And the PC port is very good. You got a lot of stuff here. And yeah, basically that's it, guys, for today. I'll wrap up with a plug on my Patreon for extra support, and at this moment the extra support is for storage. It's for me to be able to get backups of the projects that I do for my clients, and of course extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, guys, I will see you in the next one. Kunamy Master out.